So, since this is your first interview in Moldova, I'm sure our readers are willing to get to know you better and understand your path and your success story of how did you manage to become the general manager of Orange Moldova?
Well, it's always a story that starts from once upon a time. Now, well, it's very funny because in fact, for quite a long time, when I was younger, I didn't know what I want to do in my professional life, because when you are 18, you have no clue what you're gonna do. And I decided to imitate my parents. Both of them were engineers, civil engineers. So I decided to go for Polytechnic to become a civil engineer, which was totally counterintuitive because I was much better in languages probably than in maths. But from the time perspective, I think I made the right choice, because going for polytechnics, you have to be good in maths, because otherwise you will die. And today I have to count quickly, and thanks to that I'm counting quickly. And but when I moved to the labor market in 90s in my home country, it was not really attractive to go for construction industry, and I was a young engineer, and I didn't want basically to probably go this direction to the sector, which was in a so-so shape, but at the same time there was another sector that I've been looking at, which was telecommunication, which was growing quite nice, because people started to talk about internet. Well, internet actually was there, a very primitive 56 kilobits per second.
It was the 90s.
It was a dial-up. Yeah, it was in the 90s. And then as I didn't know what to do, I moved to get my MBA. And I met some people that were actually starting a company that was supposed to deploy the internet connectivity, and this is how I moved to Orange, because it was a subsidiary of Orange those days that was supposed to be kind of a French Wanadu or America Online, a little bit that stuff, and I said, like, okay, I'm gonna try, but I was not sure, and it was 1999 probably when I gave myself a chance, and this is how I stayed. And I was always more in commercial functions. I was doing B2C, B2B, customer care. I was running a subsidiary that was in charge of mobile in my home country, and after a while you discover that well, this is a very interesting industry. It's not an easy industry, because there's a lot of things happening. You're pushed by your customer, you're pushed by your vendor, you're pushed by your regulator, but pretty much there are no industries with no pressures, probably. So this is how I stayed, and again, when you look over time, one of the ways to move forward always is trying to do an extra mile. And whatever I was doing, I was always trying to do an extra mile. So I was, when I discovered that at my school they were paying a scholar, I decided to get the scholar every year, but you needed to have a proper grade. So I said, okay, I'm gonna do it. When I was 4th grade, they proposed me to stay in the university, but I decided not to stay because it was not very attractive financially wise those days. And for me, I was 24. It was very important. But and then when I moved to Orange, there were good times, bad times, but I always tried to do an extra mile. An extra mile means that I think I was able to objectively to give a little bit more effort and more sacrifice from myself than some other colleagues were able to do. And probably that was always putting me somehow in the spot where some important people were looking and saying, this is the guy. We should give the project to him because he never gives up. Yeah. And that was probably one of the reasons. But this is all about having a kind of the idea about yourself, what you're gonna do. Sometimes you don't know what you want to do, but direction is important, and hard work, and timing, of course. And I used to joke that when we are kids, we are taught that, and this is Alice in Wonderland. We are taught that if you don't know where to go, any path, any way is good. That was the conversation between Alice and Rabbit, or I don't remember exactly. And this is okay when you are young. I mean, you know, this is the way we should grow our children, telling them, you know, try this, try that, you know, you don't have to decide now. It's a time for discovery. Then, when we are old, and I will quote Henry Kissinger, who used to say, if you don't know where you are heading at, you will go nowhere. So, you know, there is a big gap between being young and being old. And then you have whole life in between to find your inflation point. And some people are finding this inflation point. Some people never find. Some people are changing their job and their lives being 60 or 50 or 40, whatever. But I think the point is that at the end of the day, at least you need to know if you go north or south. And then if you feel like, okay, this is the direction I want to go, then just execute and just go fast. So I think that, you know, this is the mix of work, of timing, and of having probably right people in the right moment around me, just helping me to find the direction I want to go. That's why I involved in some time ago in voluntary moves with young students from poor families. Very talented people, and the idea was that I was going for the kind of meetings in the room, discussing with them about, okay, you can go and work in the corporation, and I can tell you how it works like. Somebody else was coming as an entrepreneur saying, I'm an entrepreneur, I run my own company, and this is how I came to this point in time. And those people quite often are really a very well-structured, talented people, but they don't have right people to exchange around them, because parents are either not with them anymore, or they are in a very bad health condition, and those people are basically looking for somebody to exchange thoughts, and this is where I started to work with them, and I discovered that people sometimes basically they want to listen to somebody and say, okay, I like your direction, maybe I will try it. And then after a while, they may change the direction because somebody else will say something. After you try all the 4 directions, you more or less know which one is good for you. And the sooner you know, the better for you, because then you have more time to go to your aim. But at the end of the day, I think that there is no magic. You need to work hard anyway.
In your opinion, what are the factors, personal factors, that help a businessman grow?
You need to understand the direction you go. What is your purpose? What is your purpose in life? What is your purpose in business? And then it's about execution. You can be a talented person that is not training, and what does it give you? Nothing. You know, I don't know if you've heard that Will Smith, the famous actor.
Yeah, of course.
He was once asked what is his advice to younger generation about how to become a successful person in life. And you know, he said, like, I would tell you 2 things. First, read books, because all your challenges, all your problems, all your dilemmas were probably met by other people, and they put the answers in the books. That's point number 1. And point number 2 is do some sport, whatever the sport is. Because sport is about a little guy sitting at the back of your head when you want to run, telling you, you don't have to do that. I mean, don't do it. You know, you're gonna sweat. It's not nice to sweat. Or don't go into the swimming pool. This water is cold. And then you need to have yourself and power of your personality, you know, just tell to this little guy, no, I'm going to do that. So that was about sport. And I like it very much. I keep repeating about that. It's read books and never give up. Train something, because that always helps you to overcome your own deficiencies.
It definitely gets you out of the comfort zone.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Every day, if you exercise every day you have to go outside the comfort zone.
Orange Moldova is a CEO factory for the Orange Group. Which are your expectations regarding your professional future career?
You know, wise people used to say that if you want God to laugh, tell him your plans. And I think that this is very much true. Now I'm concentrated on Moldova. I just arrived, 6 months ago, and this is my full focus here. And I don't want God to laugh at me. Maybe not even a smile at me. So this is not probably what occupies my mind at all. After 6 months, I'm fully dedicated to Moldova. This is my destiny, and I want to take this time and to use this time properly.
And last question: how attractive do you find Moldova for investors?
Well, probably I'm not experienced enough yet to tell you what I think about Moldova regulations towards foreign investors, and I take part in some meetings with some investors within some associations or within some meetings. So I just listen to them. What I can tell you for sure is that you see Orange being an investor in Moldova for quite a long time. I think we have never been treated unfairly. I think we are treated fair. Doesn't mean that we are okay with everything that we face, but I think that overall, for us as an investor, this is the country where you can run the business. I could also answer that probably what I have already observed, but just 6 months, is that, well, probably each investor, not only foreign investor. When you are a foreign investor, it's more difficult because you are from outside. Stability and visibility is very important. So, to understand that if there is a glide path of something that's going to be introduced, if there is a plan of, decrease luxury tax for telco services, this is not going to be postponed. So predictability is very important, and I understand that Moldova is now, after presidential election, in the middle of the new discussion about election to come in July. I think that the sooner situation is stabilized, whatever is decision, this is decision of Moldovans. This is democracy, and everybody make her choices. But the sooner this is known, the better, because then you know who is your counterpart to discuss about taxation, who is your counterpart to discuss about other things which are important for your business. But again, what I want to underline is that we have been invested for many years, and I've never had us being treated unfairly. And I think fair treatment, this is what each and every investor is looking for.
Thank you.
My pleasure.